It's been a call all these years that we should be reforming our judicial system. For instance, if you look at what is happening today with the Galamsey arrests, the Free the Citizen arrests, my problem is not too much with the police. We know the police can sometimes go overboard and abuse their power. It's all over the world. As a lawyer, my problem is with the judiciary and how the judiciary has handled the issue. Because if Galamsey is a burning issue in our country, and the police has arrested some people who were protesting, if the police even abuse their power, we think that it is the judiciary who must stand in between the citizenry and the law enforcement agencies. So this issue of the circuit court refusing bail and remanding protesters for 14 days and more is high-handedness. It's too much. It's too much to the extent that you don't understand why such a so-called offense by the protesters or some couple of offenses by the protesters will meet such a high measure from the judiciary. So these are the areas the CPP government will be looking into. At the end of the day, the protesters should have been given bail. For them to go and come back in 2 weeks or more, it's just the judiciary also more or less abusing the powers that the judiciary have. Judicial reform is very important that today, even if you look at our prisons and our sentencing regime, if I say sentencing, as a lawyer, let me break it down. It simply means when a person has been arrested and the court has adjudicated the matter or the court has looked at the matter, and especially if it's a criminal offense, the court has found a citizen guilty, the sentencing, what the court will say after the verdict has been given, or the verdict that is given being the sentencing. So there's a possible for a fine, and then there is also an incarceration. Today we have something the judiciary is championing, justice for all. And as journalists, I know you guys are very much aware of justice for all, where the judiciary is trying to decongest the prisons. Our prisons is so congested to the extent that it's inhumane. When we see prisons in other countries, prisoners are sleeping on bunk beds, but in our country, they are sleeping on top of each other. The sanitary or the sanitation even in the prisons is something we cannot talk about. So a CPP government has a clear plan in respect of judicial reforms, and one will be towards decongesting the prisons. So we will not incarcerate citizens for misdemeanors. Misdemeanors are offenses that people are basically given 3 years or a fine. We are saying that such offenses, we will give such citizens community service. Instead of going to incarcerate them and choke the prisons, we'll give them a couple of community service. We will also give them some works to do. For instance, we are going to have our state farms. We are going to have constructions, both rail and road constructions. All these constructions will need manpower and people to work. So instead of going to incarcerate people for misdemeanors, we think that let's give them community service. President Akufo-Addo said he was going to make Accra the cleanest city. And basically, they didn't have an antidote or an answer to making the city clean. But if we are not incarcerating people for misdemeanors, they can come and clean Kumasi, clean Accra, clean Takoradi. That is why we go to Europe and we go to other foreign countries in the Western world, and the place is clean, the place is neat. We think that they are better than us. It's just about policies that should take care of these things.